Battle control initialized.
Hey people, Five Aces here. Welcome to October, which we're opening up with an absolute clown fiesta. Now you might be asking yourself a few important questions, such as what the fuck is going on? What is October? And why are you in spec chat here? Haven't you seen this replay before? Are you drunk? The answer to all of this is maybe. So what's going on here? This is a best of 7 and these replays stem from the Hector Doomhammer 1v1 tournament trademark copyright, in case you've missed it. So what am I trying to do here? I'm trying to rebroadcast this, and the reason for that is I remember those replays in the back of my head, but not quite. I have no idea how they played out. I just know it was a hilarious clown fiesta, and Hector Doomhammer has put them up on YouTube, but they haven't had quite the exposure. So I just was digging in my old replay folder. I was like, holy shit, this deserves some exposure. This was one of the best and hypest 1v1 best of 7s I've ever seen in my life. These people did not play the standard build order every single game. They were trying shit, and they were wrecking shit as well. So yeah, the players here, Orb in the top right side, we've casted him 2 or 3 times this month. It's more of a coincidence than anything. And WhoCares from, I think he's living in Paraguay, but originally hails from Belgium. And he is a Minions League player. Or, by the way, in Masters, just played him last season. And opening up, last week, and just opening up with a fake Texer, just as France should be played. That's the original French spirit here. By the way, Hector Doomhammer, also a great streamer who's a variety streamer, but mostly Command & Conquer mods. Check him out on YouTube or on Twitch as well. He has lots of OpenRA content as well. And we're seeing a fake Texer opener versus an actual Raider Dome airfield rush off of one harvester. Good shit. Good stuff, who cares? So yeah, I don't quite remember how these games played out, but they were fucking insane. Yeah, the one harvester Raider Dome rush. There we go, there's the Soviet barracks. Unfortunately no Chinook drops since he's Soviets. The map, by the way, is Siberian Pass. It's a bit of an underrated map. Really like playing it. It's got lots of expansions, but a bit choky in the middle, so it's got its drawbacks. He's wearing the first yak out, the first pitch in the war. Is he gonna go for 5 yaks and burst the Conyard? Burst it all the way to downtown? I don't know, I can't remember. For now it's just idling above the civilian building here. By the way, a custom sprite made by one of the OpenRA devs, I can't remember which one. But it's got this nice antenna. Or maybe it's a chimney, don't know. Yak doesn't care either. And this is gonna be il problemo for Mr. WhoCares, because he doesn't have an army. He has 2 yaks out, now 3 riflemen, and doesn't have a flame tower queued up either. So yeah. Also just triple ore truck for Orb, so super low eco game to start it off here. As said before, I don't quite remember the specifics. Yeah. So if you have a like or a subscribe to spare, you know, give it to Hector Doomhammer, give it to a streamer in need. I've done lots of OpenRA casts with him. Yes, the fake Texer is out of power. Is out of fake power. There we go, good shit. I'm loving it. Just don't lose your yaks. That's the only thing that matters with this build. It's the only thing you have. No! Don't fly it over there. That's a no-fly zone, buddy. Alright, a brilliant start here for WhoCares, who has just traded a yak for a power plant on 2 harvesters. No, sir. But, you know, Orb's fake Texer is still out of power. So he's got that going for him. The clown fiesta intensifies. Oh, I'm loving it. At least he's got power plants now. And he still doesn't have a standing army, which Orb is going to abuse, I guess. Because Orb actually has an army. He's also got a ranger out for scouts. Ooh, that was super close. The missile's just not tracking far enough. He needs to snipe out the ranger because it gives so much line of sight that the yaks can't actually engage into this. There are lots of rocket soldiers here. He's trying to go for the power. That's again 2 yaks traded for not even a power plant this time around. Is he going to finish the job? Yes, sir. Not gonna die in the line of duty, but now we've got two power plants traded for 3 yaks. I guess it's a bad trade, you know? just doing the math here. It's a 600 for 2 power plants. And that's already it. WhoCares turning around, not giving a flying fuck. The Ranger blocking the old truck from doing anything useful. Ah, the yacht crash is not going to happen. The last unit is parachuted in here. And this is already it for game 1, I guess. Flame tower pops, it's a bit too late. Just slightly too late. Maybe the civilians can save this. No, he's selling out. As the big sellout is coming. Another yak. Ah, the turn radius screws him over. No engineer to be had. There's still a last airfield standing strong. Alright. The civilian uprising, it's happening. The Grandiev Revolution. Grandiev Revolution still alive and kicking. One more unit and that's it, the airfield. All that remains. It's got the cash but it doesn't have the power to produce a yak in time. Come on, Orb. Finish the job. That's what you're here for. Alright, I think this is a this little gourmet or this little appetizer is going to hype you up for what's about to come, the shape of things to come. It's gonna be good, trust me. On to game 2.
Battle control terminated. Battle control initialized.
And we're going deeper into the rabbit hole here, just taking a sneak peek and seeing how deep it goes this time. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, this is for $50 prize money, and it's the match for the 3rd place. You know, I'm not gonna spoil the 1st place and 2nd place. That is for you to decide. You can watch those on Hector Doomhammer's channel. Instead, we're gonna focus on spot number 3 and 4. And also the factions were hard locked. So Orb was stuck with France for 7 games, and WhoCares with Ukraine, which usually would leave you WhoCares in a better spot, because it's France. What's it gonna do? Also, fake service depot is definitely gonna fake out the scouting yak at minute 2 from WhoCares. I'm totally calling it. Good shit. This is only the beginning here, ladies and gentlemen. You're gonna love this as much as I did when I first watched it live. Fortunately, I have no recollection of how exactly those matches went down. We're seeing the standard engineer here, and WhoCares going for lots of early infantry pressure. Leads me to believe it's double ref. Let me double check that real quick. It is indeed. Whereas Orb is going for the War Factory opener, or economical scaling, and also the fake service depot with 1 harvester. Good shit. It's a bit of a greedy build, you know, 5 rifles to safeguard 1 engineer. And WhoCares is routing his infantry down south. Might want to apply some pressure, maybe assert some dominance here. And the only thing to counter this with... Oh, nice force fire. The thing to counter this with on a War Factory rush would be an early Ranger. The 1 harvester Ranger is actually economically semi-viable. It doesn't set you back too much, and if you get some good snipes... Oh, he's moving back! This is bad news here. And line of sight has been established on the engineer. Unlucky, boys. Rip in peppuccinos. Now the force fire command, yeah, unlucky. I was calling it in spec chat back then as well. And Orb now is on the back foot. He's on 2 harvesters and he doesn't have an engineer, he doesn't have hysterics. WhoCares can safely expand for now. For the time being. It's behind the veil, by the way. One of the... Oh, that was already with the new revision, which means that there are concrete walls to block this off here. Very good stuff. Because it used to be only mesh wire and barbed wire, or sandbags, some shit like this, and this just doesn't deflect any bullets. So it was super easy to just station your infantry in the middle, snipe the derricks, go for the freebies. Doesn't happen anymore. 4 harvesters over 2. Oh, that's a 2 harvester build again for WhoCares. And I'm guessing he's gonna place his War Factory here. Not a big fan of that. He's also walled off, which means that there is only 1 single exit tile. This can fuck up the pathing so bad. So much so that on this map I actually nowadays like going 1 or double ref, maybe even going 1 ref in the power plant here, then moving on with the MCV, deploying a 2nd ref, deploying your War Factory. Doesn't delay your timings too much. And we're seeing APC play out of WhoCares. I don't know, man. That's an actual radar dome though, so Orb has opted as a... I was hoping he would go for the light tank special, but no. This is just Hind Armada, I guess. Classic Hind Armada build. Again, it's gonna meet a lot of anti-air early on and also lots of rocket soldiers. So not the best fit here. It's really behind on the econ though. The econ timer is clocking in at 5 war trucks for Orb and 3 for WhoCares. This is already a bit bad. Scout has been established. Oh, you don't want to go into this, Mr. Ranger. We've got some more Ranger danger. Unfortunately, this was before Orb had discovered the 5 Ranger build. So it's not gonna be had. Also, the early helipads have been scouted. There are no fake helipads and there is an actual artillery, so this is definitely a queue for WhoCares to queue up at least 20 flag trucks. That's pretty much how you counter this build. Lots of infantry, flag trucks early on. Also a radar dome out for WhoCares. Unscouted as of yet. And the APC is just strolling back home casually. It's a pretty worthwhile APC. We're also seeing 3 light tanks, but that's not the light tank special I was asking for. Seeing an artillery here in the mix. Okay, Rangers getting poked away by the APC. And an early SAM site. This is not the first defensive structure that comes to mind when you're playing as Soviets. Like, do I want to actually defend? Or do I just want to pop down a SAM site, which just looks pretty? So, by the way, a cool mechanic I discovered recently in TD, where in TD the SAM site is usually like in the ground, and it only pops up when it acquires air targets, and that actually changes the hit points or armor class, I guess. So it's more vulnerable when the kind of silo doors for the SAM site open, which is a neat little addition, but they don't do that in Red Alert. They're raised all the time, just like my donger for this game here. Okay, there's an actual expansion here for Orb. Super greedy build, but a super slow start as well. And that's not what you'd expect on this map. You'd expect lots of early action with infantry. Instead, both are happy just taking up. That's an empty APC, you know. Just to bait. Maybe bait out 5 Hinds. Oh shit, we're seeing the flag trucks though. Flag trucks are coming in, hot and loose, and here's the first Yak as well. So, lucky for Orb that the cliff has saved him here. This would have been a very bad start. Oh, just trying to engage into this, that's not cost effective at all. Let's run the math here. That's 2 Hinds down. Or basically 3 Hinds down. I stand corrected. If he chases, maybe 4. Holy shit. The Yak being sacrificed to the gods of anti-air. You know, both players just don't seem to like their air units that much. We're seeing a tech center out of WhoCares. Yeah, that's the spirit. Tech center before the second expansion. That's just how I like my games. Bloody raw. Going for a snipe. And the Allahu Yak bar is pretty decent, so that's a very cost-effective Yak here this time around. Also, the oil derrick is unclaimed as of yet. Good scouting ranger, still alive, you know, still kicking. And is this what I'm expecting it to be? The Iron Curtain rush, yes sir! The Iron Curtain is coming online, and this is gonna royally mess up the build that WhoCares that Orb is sporting here. The only downside for WhoCares is it doesn't have expansions to his name right now. Okay, that's a snipe. He should just go home. You don't want to suicide him to a blob this small. It's usually just not worth it. The chance is really slim. No fake texture this time. Son, I'm disappointed. Also no fake radar dome and no fake missile silo either. But hey, such is the way of life. Trying to go for a poke here. A little poke, pry and prod. Oh, the light tanks are countering the flag trucks. But it's just not enough. This is gonna be very good engagement for WhoCares if he keeps on pushing. So many flag trucks. It's actually to the point where their damage scales up, even against tanks. Look how even the tanks are getting poked down in between the rocket salvos. Flag trucks are not something to be trifled with. What is this yak doing here? Has no business being here. We are not seeing a transition yet out of Orb. He is content just sitting back on his 2 expansion advantage. But he doesn't have the Iron Curtain on the radar. Definitely doesn't know what's up here. So that's 2 minutes, 1 minute and 50 until the WhoCares show begins here. Extremely low on anti-air. That's like 1, 2, 3, 4 rocket soldiers. He's just a bit lucky that the medics, when they're in a blob, they tend to look like rocket soldiers. I've fallen for that many a time. That's a very good concave. I'd say that WhoCares could have won that if he had all his units actually in the engagement. Half his units were split off, so it's not looking good so far. Trade his entire army for half an army. The medic is just gonna fix everything. Fix her up, boys. Nice strafes, though. Getting some good bang for the buck here. We're seeing the first flank tank. Yeah. You go get that old truck, buddy. You can do it, I believe in you. Just a little, yeah, not enough punch, let's put it that way. A little more punch would have been advisable here. But I'm really liking the early takes there, and now it hinges on whether or not WhoCares manages to establish his expansion right away. Because right now Orb has a massive eco advantage. Look at the Scourge here, just devouring the last Orb patch, and then probably moving on to over top left. That's a very defensive position. Also, it's been scouted by this single rocket soldier. Super annoying. So now the Hounds can go in. Also, he's able to bring his arm into position. But there's a demo truck on the ready. This is gonna be good. This might get to be brutal. Okay. SPF 5000. Do you have it, Orb? Do you have it? You shouldn't sacrifice the yak. Send it back. And we've got blast off. Yes, sir. Good shit with the demo. Definitely making use of their faction specials. The Ukraine faction special being face fucking. Yeah, wrecking face with parabombs and demo trucks. One of my favorite factions in the game. Problem is, Orb was free to expand, so the snipe probably doesn't mean much. By the way, small quirk about the demo truck: it usually doesn't give you bounties unless you detonate it manually. So if your opponent blows it up and it blows up your opponent's units in turn, it doesn't give bounties. But if you slam that F key right in the middle of the army, it gives you bounties at least for the primary blast radius, not for the residual shockwave, I guess. It doesn't really show, it's just, you know, the radius where the infantry dies. It's supposed to be a shockwave, but it doesn't really show. And that doesn't give you a bounty, but... oh, there's a tech center. However, the primary blast, any unit it kills, if you trigger it with that, does give you bounties. Which can net you some nice sums. Going for an eco snipe, but there is a huge army in position. Also, the first longbow's out. So far, very good. No yak has been traded. In comes the longbow. Finds at least one of the snipes, okay. That's fine though, that's fine. Oh, and a nice SAM side pop here. Shooting down 3 Hinds. Not very well traded here. Orb is on the... let us see. The assets are fairly even, but WhoCares has killed a lot more. Now the base push is on. And the army of WhoCares out of position can't engage into this here because there's a shit ton of infantry. Scientific terminology is a metric fuck ton. We've got a nice little power drop. Alright, and here we've got the primary engagement. Let's keep our eyes on this. Ah, here's the Iron Curtain. Beautiful. Is going to push back all the infantry. It's not gonna be enough to push through this expansion, obviously. But a nice little win here. Also, the power drop has just blown up the radar dome. How the hell did that happen? Oh, he just didn't use his signs. That's how. I've heard Tanya somewhere. There she is. Oh, she's gonna blow up the con yard. Undeployed. Yeah, okay. Good micro. Good micro. Trading Tanya for a yak. That's a trade I'd take any day of the week. I'd also take Tanya any day of the week. You catching my drift? Alright, let's not dive into this. Flamers, very poor choice here because the pillbox has heavy armor, and heavy armor doesn't get dented by flamers all that much. So we've got the primary engagement, and in comes a blob onto the bottom primary expansion, I guess, the radar. And you never want to do what WhoCares is doing here. He's trying to trade his yaks into this, but this is just gonna end in a disaster. He doesn't find the snipes, he doesn't find the crashes either. And nice utilization of stop micro by WhoCares, by Orb, who's managed to push away WhoCares. And the primary expansion is in peril here. No flame towers to be seen anywhere. This is no bueno, no good news. On the other hand, he has held on topside. Just needs to queue up a couple flame towers. Please tell me this is not a... we're seeing a naval yard or sub pen. Parabombs already. Just the parabombs on here. They would kill everything. Okay, what's he doing here? He's redeploying, I guess. And that's a very, very nice medium tank chronosphere. I didn't catch the chronosphere first time around, but hey. Sniping down 2 ore trucks. Good stuff. What is it? No! That was the most useless chronosphere I've seen. The MCV gets taken out as well. That was poor play by WhoCares. So the chronosphere allows your tanks to stay somewhere for 20 seconds. And 18 seconds had passed. This was a completely useless Iron Curtain here. That was pretty bad. But hey, we came here for shits and giggles, for the entertainment value. What is he producing? Just a submarine? The fuck? Why would he have a submarine here? And Orb immediately countering it with a naval yard. What the fuck? I don't have this in my memory. Alright, in comes the battery drop though. The parabombs. If Orb doesn't pull back in time, this is gonna get a bit ugly. This is gonna mess him up. Holy shit! The entire army being cleaned up. Cleaning house with Dr. Ukraine cleaning house here. Very good. An amazing parabombing run. That was a missile sub. And it's being countered by freaking $500 gunboats. Not like this. Not like this. Jesus Christ. I've never seen gunboats do anything useful in my entire career. I mean, I've obviously seen it 4 months ago, but I couldn't for the life of me remember. Jesus Christ. Gunboats. Not like this. Oh my lord. So Orb basically has 3/4 of the map. It's not looking very good for WhoCares. I think the curtain's about to fall anytime now. I'm not talking about the Iron Curtain, I'm talking about the metaphorical curtain. But the Iron Curtain is pretty exposed as well. Let's see. Yes, that's a very good curtain though. Good timing, good timing. Manages to at least find a snipe on a longbow. Maybe the Heinz. Ooh. He's going in, he's going deep. It's too deep. Can't find anything here because there's a mobile gap generator. That's the first time we're seeing the French special unit. And it's just as magnificent as you ever thought it would be. Look at this. Oh, he's chronoed it somewhere. Fucking hell. He has just chronoed it 2 feet away to protect it. I like the spirit here. I'm digging it. A small detachment being picked off by a collapse of the army of Orb. Also, Orb is like 1 minute away from his from his GPS coming up. So yeah, good fight, good night is what I would say here in this case. This scenario. There's a heavy tank transition, but I think it might be slightly too late. There's a battle cruiser. Yes. That's the first time I see a battle cruiser in what? 200 games. I think there have been some by High. High has some occasionally built them. Maybe even one game against Gatekeeper. It was pretty fun. Alright, the eco slide coming at the worst time possible. But longbow does survive. Ore trucks don't. No man left behind except those guys in the big lorries here. Okay, Ultrax going on a rampage, and there is just nothing to defend here. There's a nuke silo somewhere in the main base, obviously. Very good. An eco-sniping detachment by WhoCares. Oh, that's so dirty. Just sending in the mobile gap generators, sending in the Ultrax to tank. Ouch. I think there's... This is not the last stand yet. WhoCares is still sort of hanging in there. Just for shits and giggles. There's a fake missile silo. He's gonna be so salty about killing. Yeah, the fake missile silo is the only structure that actually has a use, because it's the only one that doesn't have 10% of the original structure's health. Instead it has 50%, so it dies at 50%. Which is slightly more useful, you know. But I think we're about to see the curtain fall here. I want to see the cruiser getting chronoed somewhere. What? Alright, chronoing in a single heavy tank. I know, it's take the snipes where you can find them. And doesn't even find the snipe here. Instead runs into a flame tower because all his units are on move command. Good stuff. There's Tanya. I'm expecting the Yak to take her out. It's a veteran Yak after all. Radar jammer is the final nail in the coffin because there are lots of rocket soldiers. Oh, he's got the hard counter though. Yeah, WhoCares has actually prepared for this. He has trained for this. He's got the flamethrowers. Just so you know, they have light armor. And they die to flamers incredibly quickly. No, I don't think they have light armor. I think they actually just have really low health. Just don't quote me on that. Either way, they die to flamers real quick. That's what I'm trying to get at. Maybe it's just the health that's the issue. No more Navy. Come on, don't stop your naval production now, Orp. We're almost there. We're almost close to naval dominance on fucking behind the veil. Alright, let's see how this is gonna work. Yeah, this is exactly what I was talking about. The radar jammers are getting slammed. More like radar slammers getting slammed here, buddy. By the flamers. But that's all she wrote, I would say. There's just nothing to back him up here. No backup strat here. Ooh, nice bait on the longbow though. And with that, the last Yak's falling out of the sky. Does he have a demo truck in reserve? Come on. He gotta have a demo truck, right? He doesn't. That's a shame. A demo truck would have come in handy here. Trade your own base for a couple tanks. Would love to see this. You know, actually very ineffective trade for him. What WhoCares should have done is just move back a bit with the Conyard. That's a skill that you develop after playing for a lot. You develop the skill of the awareness of when and how to pull back your Conyard. It's one of the most important micro things to do in the entire game. Alright, let's look at the assets, shall we? Ouch. Let's not look at the assets anymore. And in comes an army. I think this is gonna seal the deal here. Sealio the dealio. Oh, can he find the snipe on Tanya once more? He should. She's so exposed. She's so overextended. And down goes the Yak, the veteran Yak. Longbow's out of ammunition here. But it doesn't really matter. Can also camp the ore fields here with a couple rockets. Is that a rocket in your pocket? And the chronosphere is up. I would actually chrono my main into his main now. That's the right course of action. And then followed up by a nice attack move, you know, the barf move. People have theorized about the barf move being implemented into OpenRA, where it's not just an attack move, it actually pulls every single unit in the entire game. Okay, good fight, good night from what I would say from here. But that's only game 2 out of potentially 7. And that's gonna be the 2-0 up for Orb. Oh, he's trying to wall off. That's a pretty good micro trick actually. Walling off your flamers so they shoot over the concrete walls, and in turn just melt enemy infantry blobs. But the problem is it was a bit too late. Nice chrono forward. Is gonna find the Conyard and at least do a little bit of damage. The wall is coming out for WhoCares. Super annoying, but he can only continue this as long as he's got the cash. And from what I can tell here, it's not gonna last too long. Gorbachev, bring down this wall. Tear down the wall! Tear down the wall! Oh boy, what a game. No one has the intention of building a wall, except WhoCares. That's game 2, and it's gonna get even more insane. Stay tuned.
Battle control terminated. Battle control initialized.
Alright, game 3 and we're back on Warwind. Haven't seen this map in a while. We're immediately seeing a move out from Orb. Maybe he just wants to deploy in the middle and get access to double or quadruple ore mines, I guess. Let's see. But oh wait, I have a sneaking suspicion I still remember this bit. Oh yeah, this is gonna be good. Yes sir! Crossing the ore field, that's basically declaring war immediately. He's on a war path here. Orb moving in, not entirely moving into the base. Doesn't want to overcommit. And that's an eco opener for WhoCares. So yeah, problems might arise here. Orb going for a power plant in 2. What's the defensive structure here? Let's see. Oh, a fake radar dome. That's some pretty good ass defense. Yeah, buddy. I'm digging it. The question is gonna be, is it gonna be a no eco all in, or is it gonna be an eco all in? Because with a no eco all in, what you can do is double barracks, sell the power plant later on, and take your MCV and use it as a tank. It's pretty durable in the early game. In the early game, you know, your opponent doesn't have flak trucks, he doesn't have a war factory or anything. So yeah. And this is going to be met with a 10 grenadier opener. So this is madness already. Mad dog in the house here. Oh boy. So if we were to summarize this game, it's Grant's doing push-ups and staring at the dust. Let's see, he's not gonna like what he's finding. There's a medic, there's also a couple of rocket soldiers now. Can go for an immediate eco snipe. Yeah, that's the spirit. That's my boy. That's Orb. Yeah, buddy. What's this cash flow looking like? It's pretty close to being broke. Probably either taking the Conyard with him or selling it. Both are fine. It's also, you know, selling it also nets you an engineer sometimes. It's a 50% chance. It's either an engineer or just 5 rifles extra. And 10 grands. Just being a bit lost here, wandering across the map. Alright. When he's gonna press the go button. The classic all-in cheese. I think it's been played by Doomsday in the Red Alert Global League last season. That's a sell command, okay, and he got an engineer as well, so not too shabby. Also selling the ref, so that's no eco all-in. There we go. Leading the charge with the harvester, but not as many rifle soldiers as one would suspect. So the easiest way would be to first go for the ore refineries. Ore refineries, you know, and the ore trucks. It denies the complete income for WhoCares. WhoCares has gone for a triple ref, holy shit. You don't see that very often. And here's the problem with the Conyard, it can undeploy and run away. And this army is not mobile at all. How are you gonna chase this? You should chase it with an engineer, that's his safest bet. Engineer is, as soon as the MCV undeploys, or as soon as the MCV deploys, he's gonna capture it. And then it's pretty much GG. But instead he's sending his entire army bottom side, trying to capture the ore refinery with an engineer. And the Grants have sniffed what's up though. There are, oh my god, the entire army's out of position. It doesn't know about the 10 grenadiers here. It doesn't know of the shape of things to come. This is gonna get ugly. Oh my god, 10 Grants completely uncountered, completely unstoppable. Oh my lord. Can he save his base in time? The last power plant is still standing. Is there gonna be a chain explosion? If there's a chain explosion, you know, you have to go for the Hail Mary. Jesus Christ. I mean, cheeses with CH. This was cheese versus cheese. Oh my god. A straight up 4-minute game. One of the most hilarious games I've ever seen. Gren Rush versus all in or nothing, no eco. infantry push. There are like 10 more grenadiers. How many grenadiers has this man built? This is madness. Alright, that's it for part 1 of this series. This is the 2-1 upset victory for WhoCares now. And I'll see you guys next time with the rest of the best of 7. Stay tuned. 5 aces. Orptober has just begun. Exactly. 5 aces out.
Battle control terminated.